I've also listened to the episodes, and we do a lot of nonsense at the beginning before we start talking. I think we need to move into the the topic of the day quicker.
I think that's our shtick, though. You know,
We don't have it. We don't have enough listeners to have a shtick. Okay.
you're not wrong.
Welcome
You
back to the
bring up
Basement
a very
Bird
good
Show. Logan and Reid here, live, recording live from our
yes.
homes in our across the country from the beautiful World Wide Web.
Yep. Whoa. Speaking of views, last episode got 37 views.
Which episode is that on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
What?
Whoa.
What did we talk about last episode?
My bike upgrade.
Oh,
Bike
Maybe we
upgrades
should
and unicycle adventures. What was so good about this episode?
me riding the unicycle. Wow.
Whoa. That's wild.
The average view duration, though, is only 38 seconds, but it's a lot higher than our 20-second average, except we lost a subscriber in the last 26 days.
What? We lost a subscriber?
It says literally
Oh
-1.
my gosh, dude.
I know.
We got 4 plays on Spotify. That's not very good.
Wow, 37. How does that work?
It's a good thing we're not in it for the money, right?
Well,
This is also episode 80.
Oh, we
Yeah,
still have
how
to
about
think
that?
about what we're doing for episode 100.
100-hour live stream. No, just kidding.
That's a terrible idea. That is
Yeah,
a
right.
terrible,
That is over 4 days.
terrible idea.
When will episode 100 be? When is
We
20
definitely
weeks
looked at this
from
once.
now? It would just be 20 weeks from now. First week of February.
Oh, yeah, it's on Nicole's birthday. I remember we looked at that.
This would
Or it's
technically be
Valentine's Day or
what?
something.
It would be 19 weeks because this is this is episode 80. So 20 weeks from today. It would be Wednesday, Friday. Oh my God! It's Friday the 13th.
This Friday?
Dun, dun.
Oh,
no, episode 100.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, anyway.
And then the next day is Valentine's Day. I have to work on Valentine's Day? That's tough. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I won't have any other plans, but who am I kidding? I just have something that I can think of, or that we can talk about, or that I want to mention. Okay.
Well, I have something to talk about, but go ahead, Reid.
I know. I
Go
just
ahead.
thought of this one because I was looking at my calendar. I got to go to the dentist 2 days in a row this week.
Why?
So, as everyone knows, I've moved recently, and the joy of moving to a new area is finding new dentists, doctors, all that stuff, to go to after you leave your old ones behind. So I had found this dentist probably about a month ago, and talked to them, and they scheduled me for like an introductory appointment, which is just like get X-rays, kind of see your teeth, get a lay of the land for what they're working with essentially. And then they said that they would add me to a list of people for cancellations for cleanings and stuff because I couldn't get a cleaning at that appointment. So I get done with my introductory appointment yesterday morning before work. I went before work too, which was a brutal idea. It was at 8. Not doing that again. That was way too early to go to the dentist. I don't like going to the dentist at 3 in the afternoon, let alone 8 in the morning. And the hygienist is like, oh yeah, we'll get you on the list, yada yada, we'll be good to go. So I'm like, great. So I go to the checkout desk, and the woman's like, yeah, I had some cancellations for tomorrow. Do you want to come back? So I'm like, what time? She's like, noon. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. So I got to go back to the dentist today and get my teeth cleaned, which actually worked out very well. But it was funny. I walk in and I get taken back by the hygienist, and she looks at me and she goes, "We've seen you, it looks like we've seen you recently." I'm like, "Yeah, yesterday." And so that was kind of funny, but got that all squared away. So now I'm good for the dentist for 6 months, and I don't ever want to go back 2 days in a row, ever again. That was not not ideal. We've talked about this before. Not a big dentist guy,
No,
But-
I'm also not a big dentist guy. Nicole had to change dentists recently because her insurance changed, and she came to my dentist. And let's just say her previous dentist was really dropping the ball. So she had a lot of work that she had to get done.
Oh, no.
She had a lot of work that she needed to get done.
I feel like you had mentioned this at some point. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And
for me...
what?
Yeah.
But this is like a family affair at the dentist because my grandparents originally went to this dentist. Then when we had to change dentists because of our insurance changing, We started coming to this dentist, and now Nicole's entire family is coming to this dentist. So they are very involved in the stories of our lives. So they were so excited about the wedding. I walk in and everybody starts asking me about the wedding. I'm like, I didn't tell anybody about this. How do you know? It's like that's how they get their cheap entertainment is.
They all know about Daisy too.
Oh yeah. Before I went there, I went last week.
Yeah.
And had to go back for some cavities. But before, how's the dog? I got the dog 4 days ago. How do you know that already? Unbelievable.
You knew about the dog before I knew about the dog.
Yeah, they probably did, honestly. Man,
oh my gosh, that's incredible.
It's like a whole. But that dentist is interesting.
Yeah. I'm happy to report though that this new dentist is good. Like him so far. So yeah, it'll be good. Glad I don't need to go back for another 6 months. But knock on wood, no cavities. Haven't had one of those in a minute. But yeah, that was my fun this week. Not the most exciting, but
well, good for you.
Thank you.
Don't brag about your good teeth.
Anyway,
I hate talking. Let's talk about something else. I hate the dentist.
Yeah.
What I wanted to talk about today was I had a conversation with one of our student employees in my office, and we were kind of just I was reminiscing. Well, I don't even know how to explain what the conversation was, but we were essentially talking about content creation, and you and I are both in content creation line of work. And in my specific instance, this is more story time, and then I want to get your thoughts on the story. When I was my job title is digital content creator. I know what you're thinking. I'm a content creator. Yes, I'm aware of that. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I do pictures and video.
Logan's an influencer
mainly
for a university.
And I assist with social media. I've been doing a lot more social media lately, actually. But
you dabble in it.
When I was interviewing for the job, and I knew this going in, that they were looking to have someone take pictures, to be a photographer. And I am not a photographer by trade at all.
Sure.
Like I have never been, like I've taken, for a while was into taking pictures, never even really took pictures in manual mode on the camera, knew more or less what the camera did, how to operate it. And I was honest with, my now supervisor when I was interviewing.
You never shot in manual before you took the job?
Not photos, not really, no. I mean, I had done it.
Okay.
I had done it. I mean, I knew how to do it, but not a lot of experience at all doing that.
Interesting. Okay.
And it just really wasn't my thing, I was more on the video side and the broadcasting side as opposed to the still image side. But
that understandable.
I told my now boss, I'm not a photographer. I can stand there and take a photo. I know how to use a camera.
Sure.
And I can do it, and I know how to make it look good-ish, to make it look presentable anyway.
Yeah.
And, that I was honest, and I said, I don't know how to do this. Now, since I've started at this role, I probably do more photos now than I do video.
I see a lot of the stuff you post. Did you take those fall ones, unrelated?
I did.
Those turned out very
yeah.
nice. I like those.
Thank you. I have gotten much more expressive and creative with my photography since I have been in this role. And
artsy.
Right, and just getting better at taking photos, at using the camera. Now I could never. I find it a hindrance now to take in auto mode. Like I don't, that's not even something that is in my tool belt. So I think that's interesting, and I was kind of explaining this to my student worker who just has kind of a newfound discovery, a newfound passion for content creation and social media and this kind of line of work.
Yeah.
That we are both into, but it's very intimidating for her to try and learn even the softwares. This whole photography story is just kind of preempting me explaining to her how I learned how to do something, right?
Yeah.
And it was learning a new skill and kind of learn by doing, trial by fire, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And, I guess we can start there before we move into more of what she was looking to do. But have you had any experiences like this where you've, had a skill or wanted to learn how to do something and kind of just started doing it, and now you feel like it's become part of your regular workflow?
Yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much the basis of how I learned graphic design. Like I graduated with a broadcast degree. Much like you, and was very very video focused leaving school, and was applying for video jobs and things like that, and never really saw myself outside of video. And then, I took the first job in Pennsylvania, and it was video, obviously, but there was also the team had a vacancy that was not filled properly for a graphic designer. We'll say that, and a lot of the work fell onto my boss and I, because I had a little bit more. I took like a couple of graphic design courses in college. I got more of those jobs assigned to me, and I just kind of learned by doing. And it turned into something that I had to learn a lot, to something that I ended up enjoying, to something that I wanted to make a full-time job, which was cool. But that was like a main thing. But like going back to your point about like people asking you like how you've gotten to learn a skill or something like that, I always that question is always a hilarious one, I think, when it gets asked. Because like back when I was in PA, like my game day people would see a graphic that I made and got posted on our socials, and they'd be like, "Oh, like, how'd you think of that? Or how'd you make that graphic? Or how'd you do this? How'd you do that?" And like, it's hard to find an answer, because you can tell them like, I can tell someone how to technically do something to make part of a graphic like that, but what you cannot teach someone is the thought process of how you got there. Like, I can tell you, like, oh yeah, I did this thing in the graphic by doing X, Y, and Z, in Photoshop or whatever it is. But like, you can't teach someone the thought process of how you got there. To say, oh, well, I use this for inspiration and I wanted to pull these elements and bring these together. Like, that's not easy to teach. So I can definitely relate to that feeling of obviously wanting to help people out and share your knowledge and stuff like that, but also kind of having a hard time doing so, because some of it you just need to learn by doing, which is not exactly what a lot of people want to hear, but that's the reality of it half the time too.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said learn by doing, because I feel like a lot of this, I'm not going to say all of it, but a lot of what you're doing and what I'm doing is learn by doing. And
mm-hmm.
Even if, that's most things in life. That's the unicycle that's behind me is learn by doing. My balance is terrible, but, and that is kind of one of the things, and I believe we've talked about this on the show before, but that was one of the things that I was nervous about when I started my full-time job, was not necessarily learning by doing, but coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
Right. And being able to figure out what I need to be doing, or what I should do, right, or what needs to be done.
Yeah.
We might want to make a video for a certain program, and that is the information that is given, and you just have to come up with content for that.
Yeah.
Which is in my job title, but is still an intimidating task to have to do that. And one thing that I am not good at and have never been good at, and I have to give you props for, is graphic design is not my creative, not me, right? And I've never been artistic. I really, in probably most definitions of the word, most senses of the word, I'm not a very creative person, right? Like I can't draw or paint or make graphics without using a template or Canva or something, right? My brain just sorry, my brain doesn't think that way.
Sure.
Right. And I think in ideas and storytelling, right? Like I can think in, here's the tools, right, that I have. If we're making a video, for example, right? And I interview, let's say 3 people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm working with right now. We're do a video about a new lab. We had the donors for the lab interviewed. They give me the tools to make this video, right? That the whole thing is based on what they say. So I have like a foundation to start on, right?
Yeah.
Now I guess you do, but you have less of a foundation, right? Because you have images, you have all that stuff, you have the building blocks.
Yeah.
But it's the concrete is in rocks, sand, and water instead of like my concrete is nicely laid on the foundation for me, right?
Yeah, I guess on that point, I would argue that your foundation of what you do is the storyline or what they're trying to tell in that video, if that's spotlighting a department or stuff like that. My foundation when I make graphics obviously comes from the content of the graphics, but I lean heavily on brand standards that we have. Like, one of the first things that I did when I got into my new job was look at, staples of graphics that went out, like backgrounds, fonts, other elements, how logos were presented, how photos were presented, things like that. And then I kept some things and I changed other things, and that is the foundation for me. I have, when I open a graphic, I have a Photoshop library of everything that I need. I can drag in the background I want, I can drag in the elements, and I know how to use them and make them, work essentially. And I guess that's the foundation that I work with. It's a little bit different to you, but that is my foundation. Your foundation is the story, and that's what guides you. And I'm guided by, our brand identity and the additional pieces that we have to that, essentially.
Well, I guess I didn't even think about that aspect of it, or of having that, and that does make sense, and I think that would make it easier than just looking at a blank canvas, right?
Yeah.
And just having like, I can go find a photo to use, right? Or like I can go find but having that ability to look at that side by side, I think is important. Yeah. But anyway, I guess this all leads back to this conversation that I was having with the student worker and trying to encourage this person to work outside of their comfort zone, because that I guess is the other main thing that which applies in this situation, is that my experience with the student workers they're very much in what they know, so I'm curious for you how I don't even know how to phrase this question, but how likely are you to try and explore or try and gain a new skill that you can apply? Like before we talked about you already doing that, but like now we're a few years into the career.
Sure.
You and I both, right? You longer than me, but how likely, is that something that you think about on a regular basis at all?
Yeah, I think like when I have larger projects, I'll try to do new things and try to experiment with things. And like a lot of that comes from, inspiration from social media and seeing what other teams do. Being in sports, I have such a wide realm of, teams to look at. I have in hockey, I have 30 NHL teams or 32 NHL teams, 32 AHL teams, however many in the ECHL that I can look through and see what they do. And even inspiration from outside of sports, you just take baseball, for example, you have, 150 teams to pull from, plenty of stuff there. So I always try to do something new, I think just, there's ways that, I think a lot of people are always so pressed on making something that is fully new, which like anything you make is not going to be fully new, even if you think it is, because you have those internal biases and things that you've seen that are, even without you realizing it, influencing the work that you do.
Right.
So nothing is ever full. Like, I think we've reached the point where nothing is ever fully new. It is some combination of things that you have seen or experienced in the past to put together. Maybe that's getting too deep, but
no.
It's like it's looking at that. It's looking at that. Inspiration in those other graphics that I see and saying, all right, I kind of like how this looks. I can take these pieces and, these pieces here, and then, finding things, within your own environment to use. Like one thing for, like example, like our brand that we have going to this season for the hockey team I work for is heavily based around the building we're in. We're in a really old historic venue known for its cable roof, and one of the elements I created is the cable roofs in the background of graphics, So it's drawing inspiration from that, but also from, other graphics I've seen and, seeing what works for other brands and seeing what maybe I don't think works and, kind of piecing that together to make something that, to everyone is new, but in reality it's the amalgamation of a ton of different things.
That's a big word. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm referring to as well, like, these people have never used the Adobe Suite, and I'm still exploring new applications in that Adobe Suite, since we have the cloud license covers all or most of the usable applications. And I'm always trying to learn new applications or uses for applications, and even non Adobe there's so much to learn. And just trying to convey that to like a younger person or like a student. I will be, and we haven't announced this yet. Well, never mind. I'll wait on that. But I don't want to. It's not. I don't think it's 100. It's not absolute concrete yet, so I don't want to say it. But I think, that's a good thought to end on. I think because I've been trying to help our student employees learn, and I'm curious, and I'm always interested to hear like other people's experiences, and that may even be a good point to have like other people on the podcast, like your brother comes to mind, and learning about photography in something that's not like he's in a non-creative field for his profession, right? And and that's really interesting to me to learn how or why someone gets into passion like that. And I'm sure you could tell me, but we need to move on to odd news. That was good.
To be continued.
Yeah, to be continued on that one.
Absolutely.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You lead us off.
All right. Well, we're big fans of world records here on Odd News, and
we sure are.
Man, there's another one. When you were younger, even now, when I'm running up the stairs, do you ever just go to like? No. Well, do you ever fall up the stairs? No. Do you ever like kind of? When you get towards the top of the stairs, you got the hands involved. You got the hands involved on the stairs, like you kind of.
No.
You kind of just.
Are you saying like you run up the stairs like a dog?
Well, I mean, kinda. When I get closer to the top, if I really need to speed up the stairs,
acting like a dog.
No. I was doing this beforehand. We speed up the stairs. You never did that?
Maybe when I was younger, but I cannot remember the last time that I've ever been going up the stairs and gotten to the top and felt the need to put my hands down to get to the top.
Well, I move like lightning. Okay, I move like lightning.
Are you doing this out of necessity because you are going to fall and you're catching your? Or you're just like, man, here we go. I'm gonna use my hands to get up the stairs. Like, where does this come from?
I mean, it's more because I'm moving so fast that I'm worried that I'm just going to burst into flames and. I need to make sure I'm well supported on all fours. Not unlike this Japanese man who broke a speed record for running on all fours.
This guy's not going upstairs.
Yes, I know, but I, wanted to make a connection to my personal experience.
Man, that was a little bit of a stretch, but
he channeled his inner quadruped and broke Guinness World Record by running 328 feet in 14 and a half seconds on all fours. How do they come up with 328 feet? What kind of distance is that?
100 meters. It says that in the next paragraph.
I see that.
Oh my God! You see this guy jump? This guy's a frog. Holy cow!
The video was so funny.
Dude, this is
That's
terrifying.
not at all what I thought he'd look like.
This is terrifying.
What the heck?
One of the comments on Instagram is, our ancestors did so much for us to walk on two legs.
The teacher said that animals on all fours can run faster. That made me think I could be the fastest human on all fours. This is what he told Guinness World Records. He prepared for this record by observing how four-legged animals like cats and dogs and monkeys run. That's insane.
You know, now that you say that, he does run like a dog. Like he's doing like how dogs run, like the legs on one side of their body are always like either opposed or close to each other. You know?
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that. I don't know if that's just how you're supposed to run on all fours. I've never really thought about that.
I was more looking like kind of how like a gorilla runs. Like, you know, he puts both hands down and kind of like pushes himself forward.
Yeah.
Or like swings his feet forward and then, you know, both hands at the same time.
Yeah.
So that little
so
trot
fluid.
He's got going on is actually kind of funny.
Man, you think his back feels good?
Absolutely not. My back hurts just watching this video.
He looks like he's about to take a header, and then he does at the end. Did you see the video of when he celebrates and he jumps, though?
No.
Watch the video all the way
Instagram?
through. Yeah, watch the Instagram video all the way through to the end. This man can jump, too. I would love to know what his vertical is.
Yeah, this frame rate on this video is very high, too. That's great.
This is some crispy video from Guinness here. Watch him jump.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, he takes a tumble. Why is he, like, in a frog position?
Wait for it.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Whoa! Oh, my gosh.
Right?
What the heck?
I think we got to get a jumping world record for that guy.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Are you kidding me? My God.
Yeah, just wild. Well, good for him. Good for him, I guess. I also have a record for my story, and this is good. I was scrolling the talk recently, TikTok, and I stumbled across the profile of our favorite record breaker, David Rush. Okay.
Oh boy.
He follows 15 pages, and I can confirm that the Basement Birds is not one of them.
Oh.
But that means, hold up, let me go to the account page. I'm not going to be signed in here. I wanna sign in to follow him. But he broke a record to break the world record for the fastest 10-meter stroll run with his son. The stroller has to start and end completely folded up. So it has to be light but sturdy enough not to break. And the person in the stroller has to be 50 pounds. His son was 50 pounds. It was go time. This kid's he's wearing a helmet, knee pads, gloves, and elbow pads. And let me send this to you so you can watch it in real time. The ability to get the stroller open, impressive. He clicks a button, pulls the thing up, it's open. And then literally the kid is just the kid is standing there and Mr. Rush, I don't know what to call David, Dad, pushes the stroller towards, and the kid just falls into it. He just flops in, and then they're good to go. And then that turn does it on 2 tires, and then they race back. Kid basically gets ejected out of the stroller, and then the stroller gets folded. First of all, I didn't know that strollers can fold and unfold that easily.
What you think they make it intentionally difficult or what?
I don't know. I've never had to fold or unfold a stroller before. But he did it in less than 10 seconds. I guess you have an older brother. Seconds. Yeah, I've never had to do anything with a stroller before. But just seeing him, this is a reposted video. That's really disappointing. It originally posted in August of 2023.
This is the fastest 10-meter stroller push.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh my gosh. The record stood at 15 seconds, but he broke it with 9.88. Wow. He crushed it.
Wow. That's crazy town.
This guy also juggled for over 13 hours, and he has this camelback hose thing here.
Yeah, but he failed a couple times. Like I saw a
Yes.
recent video that he popped up on my TikTok page, and he like showed himself failing a few times, like where he was close, like juggled for like 8 hours or something, and like dropped one.
Wait a second. He did an Iron Man, but juggled. He did a half Iron Man and juggled the run portion. He juggled for half a marathon. What?
This guy is crazy, dude.
That's wild.
David
Those t-shirts
Rush.
put on in 30 seconds. This is wow. This is a fantastic. What does this guy's voice sound like? I've never heard him talk. I'm kind of curious now. Stand by. All right, that kind of checks out. That's about what I expected, honestly.
World record title.
Wow. This is
Wow.
what a good follow.
I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
That is, oh my gosh. So, good video with the stroller. My favorite is when the kid gets, pushed into the stroller and then ejected out of it. I think that's pretty funny. But, good family bonding with the records, so.
I love it.
That is the life of David Rush and his family, I guess, It's a family affair.
Yes, it is. Everybody gets sucked into it. Oh, gosh. Anyway, that was a good conversation we had today on the podcast. Make sure you follow Basement Birds on all of our social media platforms.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
All
Look at that.
of the platforms. We have a good time around here. And this is 80 episodes. I'm glad we've stuck with it this long. We've got to get to 100 at least before we take a break. So, give us a follow. Go subscribe on our YouTube channel because apparently we're kind of YouTube famous now.
37 views. Watch out. How many subscribers do we have?
Hold on. I have to go watch it a few more times, make it 50.
Is that higher than our subscriber count?
It is. Our subscriber count is now 25 again because we lost one. But
what?
Anyway.
Wow.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you all on the next one.
See ya.